Stranger Things, the ending explanation. Go! Alright, now the monster is a microscopic parasite that is feeding off of the hardened blood in Elle's brain, and it's caused by these for powers, until she disturbs it. The immense fear Elle experiences combined with the monster's need to feed off of her causes a rift that opens in the lab. That's a sci-fi, don't ask me to explain why, just go with it. The rift doesn't lead to another dimension, it leads to the part of Elle's brain that the monster lives in. This world is the way that someone might see our world if they were trapped under layers and layers of skin and muscle. This also explains why there are so many particles floating around and why everything is covered in a tissue-like substance. But then you might ask, wait, hold on, she has to have a picture of someone if she wants to contact them with her powers. That's how it works, right? Well, what if she sees this monster every night when she closes her eyes? It's never shown in the show, but I'm willing to bet that Ellie has dreams of this creature in the past. But instead of them being dreams, she was actually exploring her physical mind. Alright, that out of the way, what happens during the end battle between Ellie and the monster? Alright, first, let's be clear, the Upside Down world is still there, even after Ellie and the monster die. We can infer this because Hopper and Joyce get out safely, and from the clues in the final episode, such as the lights and the monster's roars when attacking the government goons, we know that Will is reunited with his mother right after or the second before the creature blows up. Hopper, Joyce, and Will still need 10 to 15 minutes to get back to the rift in the government lab, and there isn't a scratch on anyone except for Will once they get back to the real world. Case closed, back to the fight. In the final shot, there's a clear light coming from the monster's chest. Everything we've seen about Ellie's powers suggests that she can only move things and connect things, nowhere is it shown that she controls light. But the monster is constantly seen affecting the electricity in our world. So what is the monster really? It's a mutated nerve cluster, and not just any nerve cluster, this is a cluster located in the part of Ellie's brain that gives her the abilities seen in the show. Now, for the strangest part, what actually happened to Ellie and the monster? Well, that's one question I can't really find a clear answer to. Obviously, Ellie uses her abilities to strip the monster of his evolved skin, which can be seen as a secondary part of him when he leaves it behind during his escapes from the bear trap and will shed. But once that part is gone, Ellie and the monster just disappear. I think the closest I can come up with an explanation is that the monster can only exist if his pure form is protected from the outside world, and that once that protection is gone, theoretical physics take over and reverse the effects of the mutation, causing him to revert back to his original, untainted being. But the force caused by such a reaction rips a hole in time and space, a hole that sucks Elle into it, then disappears as quickly as it came. There are a lot of problems with this explanation, like, oh, if a rip like that were to be opened, it wouldn't just shut, it would expand and destroy the whole universe, but I'm not interested in that exact science. This is sci-fi, the king of don't overthink it, just accept it mentality. Okay, final part, what happens to Will during the final scene? To be completely honest, I feel like the scene is meant to be a good quick teaser for season 2 if they ever decide to continue the story, but there is one thing about the scene that I would like to touch on, that being the slug that Will coughs up. Let's start from the odd detail that seemed to come and go with the idea that the air in the Upside Down is toxic. We're never given a clear explanation as to why or how it's toxic, but we know that the government isn't just making that fact up to scare Hopper, because they all wear hazmat suits while examining the rift. With this theory I'm about to present, I am in no way saying that the air isn't toxic, but I don't think it's toxic in the way the government thinks it is. Think of the air in the Upside Down as a dormant chemical, one that science says is dangerous, but if you were to take a bath in it, you would be perfectly fine. Now, if someone dumped an activating agent into your bath of dormant chemical, it wouldn't be so safe, and would most likely kill you before you get out of the tub. That agent is a fluid present in the slug's body, one that gets released once the slug finds a nice cavity to nestle down and begin feeding. The slug entered Will's system just as Hopper and Joyce found him, and by starting his heart again, they interrupted a crucial part of the slug's settling process. Before the slug could begin again, Will had been taken out of the Upside Down, therefore cutting his connection to the toxic air, which stopped the slug's feeding process. Now, 1 month later, after being stuck in a small void with nowhere to eat, the slug decides to test its luck in the open world and crawls up Will's throat, causing the gag reflex and blah, you know the rest. You saw the show. Alright, that's my explanation for the ending of Season 1 of Stranger Things. I'm leaving out a few details like, if the Upside Down really is in Elle's mind, why is everything the same size as in the real world? I have a few theories, but I'll leave you to discuss that in the comments. If you have a different theory, also post that in the comments, I'd love to hear what everyone thinks. And thank you for watching. Experiences combined with the monster's need to feed off her cow, blah blah blah. What is the problem with me? Read it, damn it. Read it. Ah. Okay.